some engagement, and they felt that it is important to wait for them. We were here on time, but we always, that as CCC, we promote free press, and we also, as a communications department, we work very well and very closely with members of the media. We always want to do our best to accommodate journalists to do their job to the best of their abilities. Thank you very much. We called for this press conference to basically update the nation and members of the media following letters that have been circulated on the internet, where the impositor, Tshabangu, as he has been known in the political market in this country, has released a letter purportedly recalling councillors of the Citizens Coalition for Change. And we felt that it is important, in light of this development, to assert these following three critical facts to members of the media and Zimbabweans. The first thing we wanted to update the nation on is that the party, in October last month, took to the High Court of Zimbabwe in form of a High Court summons against Tshabangu, who is an impositor who has been claiming for the past few weeks and has rose into fame in our body politic as the Secretary General of the Citizens Coalition for Change. The party took this legal route to ensure that we protect our organization and our movement, and therefore we actually received an update just yesterday that in relation to that High Court application, Tshabangu, the impositor, has responded, and we expect that issue to be heard at the High Court of Zimbabwe. Pursuant to that, our legal representatives, Shaba and his team, have actually been engaging Parliament and local government ministry to make them aware that there is a lawsuit against Tshabangu by the CCC party to ensure that, number one, they don't take any correspondence from this impositor. Number two, to make it aware to them and to reiterate our position that CCC does not have a position of the Secretary General, and that Tshabangu is not part and parcel of the leadership collective of the Citizens Coalition for Change. And thirdly, to confirm that the Ministry of Local Government and, more importantly, Parliament Speaker Honorable Mudenda, an officer of the law, should not act to any correspondence that come from Tshabangu. We did not only end there, we also engage other critical government departments and other stakeholders and fellow citizens to disregard any communication that come from Tshabangu on the issues and the reasons that I've stated above. That he is not the Secretary General of the CCC, and he does not represent the Citizens Coalition for Change. He is an impositor who acted on fraud, and I will take this opportunity actually to remind the Zimbabwe Republic Police and send our plea to the police that please act on the matter that we reported to the police. He's a fraudster and it's a criminal offense. And we've written to the police, we've reported the matter, we've shared with the media the RRB number, and we expect that the police, in their traditional professional manner, investigate and arrest this fraudster who has taken over illegally the movement of the citizens, particularly our intellectual properties, our signatories, our logos, our symbols, and going berserk in different offices, masquerading as an official of the Citizens Coalition for Change. So in that regard, we want to assure citizens to be steadfast. What to our citizens, we assure them strongly as their movement that we have taken important steps both domestically, regionally, and internationally to ensure that we protect our movement and protect our people. This plot that you see is a broad manifestation of the constitutional crisis that has visited our country. That constitutional crisis is born out of Zimbabwe's disputed election. The attack on the authentic opposition is born out of disputed election, an election that we won an election that we defeated Mr. Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. That's why you have seen them attacking them. Why are they attacking CCC? They are attacking CCC because they don't want an authentic opposition in this country. They want an opposition that they can control. And that is the character of authoritarian regime world over, that we must have an opposition that we control. We have refused to be controlled by our opponents. ZANU-PF is our competitor as a political party, and we don't be taken into being their player or their partner. We are an authentic alternative in this country, driven by the agenda to see change and transformation in this country. That's why you are seeing them now taking impositors, giving them temporary powers to try and masquerade as leaders of the alternative. Anyone in the media can testify to this. You have followed CCC since its inception from the 24th of January 2022. No journalist can confirm in their knowledge that they've seen. No Zimbabwean can confirm that they saw this impositor in the rank and file of the alternative. What does that do? It confirms the circus that has been born out of this constitutional crisis. How do we reduce a country into a joke of a nation where we disregard electoral politics and electoral democracy because of the agenda to try and undermine and opposing voices? That is what is happening in our country. You can testify, fellow Zimbabweans and fellow citizens. It is clear for all who care to listen, to understand. In our history of campaigning, we launched this party, went into a by-election in 2022. We won these seats. Citizens supported us, went into this election, came up and tried. We made sure without doubt that we frustrated ZANU's attempt for 2/3 majority. And that's why we're being punished. That's why they've picked. But that's the character of authoritarian regime, to pick any individual and give them powers over the citizens project. That's why you see all this. We are spending $5 million US. That is the money that has been budgeted by ZEC just for the by-election of the 9 members of parliament and councillors that is oncoming. That money is coming from taxpayers' money. That's why this issue is not a CCC issue. It's not a partisan issue. It's for all who care about democracy and the future of our country. Right now, we have problems in our country. Look at the state of our health facilities. People are dying of diseases that could have been dealt with, but taxpayers' money is being spent on political issues. Why should our country be left in slow careering for 5 years? This country has been arrested by vicious cycles of disputed election. That's why we have said, and we communicated with regional players, because the crisis in Zimbabwe has a bearing in the region in terms of regional stability, because majority of Zimbabweans, when they see all these failed political maneuvers by ZANU-PF, what does that happen? People leave the country as political and economic refugees, and it has a huge bearing in the region. And therefore, that is on that basis that we've engaged the region so that they help us. While we are using domestic avenue to resolve the crisis in this country, we also engage the region so that we pivot the crisis in Zimbabwe. And you can see without doubt that this crisis has escalated. You can see without doubt that there's an attack on the authentic opposition, that there's an attack on citizens' power. Because when you close all democratic avenues of people to choose leaders, all democratic avenues for people to raise their voices, you set a country into a path of instability. And that is what we're avoiding as CCC. That was what we're avoiding as visionary and statesman leadership in the form of African nationalism. That's why we've given peace a chance, and that's why we believe that there must be engagement so that we're able to resolve these issues. Thank you very much, members of the media. Unless there are questions, our intention was to come here and clarify in terms of this important step that we've taken in relation to our illegal code member.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Tshabangu from CCC.